This is Scott Hosey filling in for Aaron Phillips, and this is Thoughts Count Anywhere with the other hosts here. We've got Chief on my left.
Good morning, everyone.
And Matt Mullen on my right.
What's up, everybody?
And reversed in TV world.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Phillips is on assignment. We'll say that. Isn't that what he's doing?
You're being nice.
Correspondent. He went the wrong direction. He was supposed to be somewhere in Texas, but...
Oh, that's it. Anyway, this is Thoughts Count Anywhere, the best wrestling show on the air. One of the original 3, 4, whatever. Yeah, so he called me to fill in, and I've got some news later on. We'll just we'll skip over all that.
No, we appreciate it.
Bugging you all week.
I know you've been bugging me. Ryan's been bugging me. Chief's been bugging me. Thomas, shout out to Thomas, who's not here, a little under the weather too.
Feel better, bud?
Yep, absolutely. So with that being said, we're going to start off with I Hear Voices. Matt, rumor is Steve Austin has pitched to wrestle Brock Lesnar, not Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
I want to see it. I want to see Stone Cold at WrestleMania just because I plan on going, and the roof will come off the goddamn SoFi Stadium when Steve Austin appears.
Chief?
What I read is they've offered Stone Cold a huge amount of money to come in for WrestleMania.
I know our buddy Ryan is a huge Austin fan and is just wanting to see it happen. Personally, I'm a Ric Flair mark. I mean, years ago, and
Nick Mockwinkle mark.
Yeah, but the last, once the TNA stuff started with Rick, I was not interested anymore.
No.
I was the old NWA Ric Flair styling and profile. What's Mr. Hurd got a hold of Flair, made him cut his hair. It was like, he lost all his magic. But I don't know. I don't think Austin is. I think he's past his prime, and sometimes it's like watching Willie Mays with the Mets.
I watched Brock last night when he did the sneak attack in on SmackDown, and I'm getting older, and my eyes aren't what they were, but I seen a couple misses last night, and I'm just wondering if he has ring rust on him.
Oh, once you're out of the ring, I mean, rumor has it that Rock is pretty much not going to be at WrestleMania in a wrestling aspect, and because he doesn't feel like he's in ring shape. Has anybody seen him? Who cares if he's in ring shape? He's cut.
Did you watch the late night show last night? Roman was on it, and as he said, nutrition-wise, Rock's on point. Exercise-wise, in shape, on point. But cardio, not on point. And he said it takes time to get your cardio back.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that has any history with wrestling, and my history goes way back. Some of the hardest things to do is running in the ring, and 1, 2, 3, turn, 1, 2, 3, turn. And needless to say, cardio is a big part of it, and timing. When you're in there with another wrestler, it is basically you're a dance partner. And if you screw up, it's just like, figure dancing on ice and things like that. Don't drop your partner on the head. When you have them up in the air, it's your responsibility to put them down. So, that's definitely a huge thing is having timing, having the ability to perform in the ring. Rock, great shape, absolutely.
Everyone on the internet was going nuts saying, like, what the hell, Rock, you're already in shape. What do you mean? But bodybuilding and, trying to gain muscle compared to trying to train to wrestle a 45-minute match in the main event of WrestleMania, 2 whole different things.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But if the Rock's ever going to come back, it's going to be this year.
No, it's not.
It has to.
It's got to be. I assume if he's not going to wrestle, he's going to be in some capacity there. It's Hollywood.
I would think so.
Another rumor that is the Sami Zayn storyline and with the Bloodline was only supposed to last about 3 weeks. Obviously, they've kept it going. The crowd is huge behind it. Chief, do they keep it going? What's the deal there?
I hope they do. I see a friend of ours doing a turn, though. I see Solo doing a turn on the family. And him and Sami going after the tag belts. Nobody's talked about this at all.
Absolutely.
But I see Solo doing the turn.
There is so much that they could do with the Bloodline right now.
Yes.
And I'll mention something about the Bloodline later, but
Yeah.
I'm getting some evil looks from
Hey,
you.
Are you gonna tell me yet?
While you're doing that, good morning, Ronald.
Stop messing with
John,
my emotions, Scott.
Tom, glad you're in the room. The historian's with us, and some guy named Aaron Phillips. I don't know.
Who?
Yeah, who?
Yeah, exactly. Go sell your book somewhere.
Morning, Aaron.
Raise money to pay for their cable bill. I had to.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
So, your thoughts with the Bloodline and Sami? I had somebody tell me earlier this week, and it'll allude to something else. When we had Setha Solo do a signing for my company over at Sunset, right before he left for that 3-letter agency.
The one he wouldn't tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Ended with
Wouldn't even give us a phone number.
But what was interesting, somebody had a phone number somewhere.
Yeah.
We had that picture I had custom made with, him,
Yep.
and then, Day and Jimmy, and then Rikishi behind him.
Yeah.
That was shown out, and somebody informed me that I need to Photoshop those and put blonde hair on it, which I thought was kind of cute. But those might be signed later on.
Nice.
But go ahead with your thoughts on Sami.
Sami is by far the most over thing in the Bloodline. If it doesn't end with him becoming WWE champion somehow, I think they're doing it wrong. He deserves some kind of run out of this.
Never
He
thought
has
of it
to.
that way. Never thought of it that way. Never thought of it that way.
I mean, right now he's hot, but overall, I think people are hot because he is part of the Bloodline.
Yeah.
And, honorary Uso shirts are selling, but I don't see the Sami Zayn shirt selling, because it never sold before.
True.
So I think keeping him, but maybe doing a screw job, Royal Rumble, maybe having him in the finish of either winning or, the old possibility of having maybe both Usos in the ring where, Sami and all of them could just step out and Roman could have a night off. And then all of a sudden, Sami does something, does the, oh my God, what did I just do? And somebody unfortunately winning where Roman has to obviously defend the belt against maybe like a Cody Rhodes they're talking, or Rock, or, for that matter, maybe a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
How about John Cena?
Break the record?
Maybe.
Or have Flair come back in for one. They're talking about having an
Charlotte-
old guy show up and having Flair, maybe win the title one more
Have
time.
Charlotte come in an intergender match and Charlotte wouldn't break the record.
Absolutely. Another rumor out there is Ronda Rousey will not be part of tonight's Royal Rumble, which I see is a big mistake. But, your thoughts?
As much as everyone gives her crap for whatever she does, she's still one of the biggest names in WWE as far as the women's division. So it would be a shame not to have her there in some way, shape, or form. But even for the women to fill out the Royal Rumble, they're gonna have to bring in a bunch of legends anyway to make this thing even happen.
Does Mickie James show up again? And do that unforbidden, crossover, but like she did last year?
Rumor has he been on the phone with a guy that would know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
And this morning too. Wait a second. I can show you a text message
I'd love
at
to see. I'd love to see.
4 a.m. this morning,
It's
Ross.
okay.
I was up. I almost called you back.
All right, buddy.
Jesus.
Anyway, the historian's in here, Mr. Burnett. Good morning to you. No, as far as Ronda, maybe Ronda just wants to take a little time off. Maybe she's asked for it.
Didn't she have 9 months off?
Yeah.
If you're a professional wrestler, I don't know if WrestleMania season is the correct time to be asking for time off.
You know what? Being that we're bringing stuff up like that, let me throw something out, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a taste of the Chiefs rant this morning. Some human being really went after Shotzi Blackheart this past week about her, not only her character but her human being, and then Miss Rhea Ripley had to step in and correct a few things to remind all of us that these professional wrestlers are human beings and they do have feelings, and they, if they need a little time off, well, you take a little time off, and that's all I was saying. Maybe she asked to take a little bit of time off.
Blackheart is like usually in catering, so she
it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. I'm not being smart. I'm being serious about this. I'm being dead serious about this. Okay. So am I. So needs practice.
Well, wait.
So does your person. Okay, she can't figure out which character
one's
she
in catering,
wants.
one's wrestling for the world title.
She can't figure out which character she wants to be.
Ding.
Honestly, $20 she messes up her exit at the Royal Rumble tonight.
Who you talk about, Alexa? Probably will. Alexa, totally agree with you.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Coca-Cola. We all have fun up here.
Yes, we do.
And the one thing that I have to say is, and my political beliefs, both of you do, and most everyone out there, social media and the press
doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, just stay out of it. A lot of people just get behind the computer and bitch and complain and show their feelings. Remember, everyone has feelings. Everyone definitely has a right to express their opinion, but the whole social media, Twitter thing has really, in my opinion, ruined our society.
We've been fortunate enough through you to meet a lot of great professional wrestlers.
Well, Matt's definitely going to have a nice evening when I read a list to him later today.
And the thing is that away from wrestling, when we go to a restaurant at Sam's Town, we have fun with them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
we have fun with them.
I have one really important thing to say. Are you going to tell me it?
Jeez. Well, with that being said, maybe we will break some news after we take a break. Are we taking a break?
We could take a break.
We can take a break.
Can we take a break, sir?
It's okay with me.
And we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
I'm Miss Murder, and I have a question for you. Have you ever explored the beauty in horror? I'm Mercedes M. Yardley, known as Miss Murder. I'm a dark fantasist who wears poisonous flowers in my hair. Among my many titles, I'm the author of the Stabby award-winning book titled Apocalyptic Montessa and Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love, as well as winning the prestigious Bram Stoker Award for my novella, Little Dead Red. My short story, Loving You Darkly, also received a Bram Stoker nomination. Check out all of my titles at www.mercedesmyardley.com, where I remind you that all things are dark.
Hello folks, this is Mac Jackson Jr. from Vanderson Cyber Group. The problem with businesses today is that they are affected by cyber attacks from around the world, but companies are not sure of what to do. Normally, they are reactive instead of proactive. But folks, cyber attacks can affect your bottom line, and it will affect you financially, legally, and your business reputation. Here at Vanderson Cyber Group, we can help you develop a policy by training your employees on what to do if they are involved in a cyber attack and how to mitigate it and fight against it. Folks, we call it here #StayCyberWoke. And that's Vanderson Cyber Group here in Las Vegas and around the world. You can reach me, folks, at VandersonCyberGroup.com or my website, MacJacksonJr.com as well. Here locally, 702-868-0808. Give us a call today, folks. We must fight back.
Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Scott Hosey, filling in for the man among myths. I'll call him Aaron Phillips, the Hall of Famer who is out on assignment. And I've got Matt Mullen here. I've got Chief. Hope Thomas is feeling better. But with that being said,
some ball-headed guy, right?
Some ball-headed guy selling a book. But.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to cater to Matt's wishes, and that is I am going to make some breaking news.
All right.
Neither one of you know.
Sweet.
And that is, don't forget, we've got our we, because I consider you part of the family here at Thoughts Count Anywhere. We've got our sports card, toys, and collectibles show coming up on February 25th and 26th over at Sam's Town. Concurrently, Impact Pro Wrestling is running their pay-per-view on Friday night, television tapings on Saturday and Sunday. First of all, my shout out goes out to Impact and Ross Foreman. Thank you very much for being involved with my company and being a sponsor. You guys have been great. Quick little shouts out to our VIP sponsors, Game Day, Captain Ticket, My Four Sons, and Pop Shack, and Chadman Designs, who does all my graphic work. Also, V360, who is doing a lot of video work for me and commercial work for me, and that's Fonzie and his wife Sable. Shout out to them. They are doing wonderful jobs. A little startup company that before you know it, they're going to be a major player here in town.
Okay.
But with that being said, that's all I'm going to tell you about the show, but that's okay.
God, fine.
Be there because the chief says so.
Okay, some other sponsors for the show, Matt, and I know I'm just pushing you off.
I thought
Galaxy
you were
Movie
starting.
Theater at the Boulevard, Sequest.
Making me look.
The Vegas Golden Knights are going to have some representation there. I've got a few of the cheerleaders coming in.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, we got some interest over there from behind the camera. For people who are like, why don't you have anybody with them? Okay, they obviously play on Saturday, so no appearances, and then Sunday morning they're or either Saturday night leaving for Colorado.
Yes, they are.
Which, by the way, Golden Knights. Let's get on the ball here. You're now in second place.
You get a fire under your ass.
Yeah, I want to shout out to the Aviators who are sending over Spruce and Aviator, the mascots.
Yeah.
The Desert Dogs are giving us some tickets to one of their games. That's the lacrosse team here in town. So, and
Being
Bruce,
the owner of one of them.
yeah,
that'd be
any one of
a
the owners,
gig.
yeah. Even Dustin Johnson, bring your wife.
I'm the father-in-law.
And your father-in-law. Some guests that we have announced in the past, Willie Galt from the Bears and the Raiders, also Olympic runner for the 1980 team.
From the University of Tennessee, I'll have you know.
Exactly.
Not Michigan.
Michigan at least went to okay. Anyway, Sin Bodie.
There goes your spot at the card show.
I already paid.
We've got Sin Bodie coming in. We've got the Glow Lady from the original Glow series. We've got Roxy Sunny and our guest here on Thoughts Count Anywhere, the Royal Hawaiian, April. She'll be there. ECW legend Sabu will be signing autographs, and that's the Bloodline.
No, that's Sabu, man.
He's
When
up
he
there?
looks
Okay,
up,
good.
yeah.
Well, Matt, I'm going to
Sabu.
start reading some names to you. For those who have been following us, Impact is highly involved with my company, and I'm glad to have them there. Don't peek.
Not looking.
You're peeking.
I'm too tired. I can't read that
Okay,
small
good.
right now.
So, 2 days of my sports card, toys, and collectibles show. There'll be many, many events going on, and we're going to add to this roster.
We're
But
gonna
right
have
now,
fun. We're going to have fun.
Impact is supplying. They have an Impact booth. They're going to do autograph meet and greets, nominal charge. There's going to be a belt display. So starting right when the show opens, we are going to have the Motor City Machine Guns
Nice.
and Josh Alexander.
Hell yeah.
At 10 o'clock, and now, at 11 o'clock, time's subject to change because obviously things happen with flights and that. But, so we might have to juggle some times. We got Miss Deanna Perazzo.
Yeah. I know what table I'm going to be at.
And then Mr. Macklin will be there.
Yes.
At 12 o'clock, we have Dirty Dango
Nice.
and Brian Myers.
Heck yeah.
I like
At 1 o'clock, we've got Santino Marella and Frankie Kazarian.
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
Sunday, we've got Tommy Dreamer, ECW legend. And I've lost my place. We've got Eddie showing up. We've also got Alicia.
Nice.
Yeah. At 11 o'clock, Trey will be showing. And is he the X Division champion right now, Trey Miguel?
Trey Miguel.
And here's one for you, Matt. Mickey will be showing up
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. At 12 o'clock, we've got the Death Dolls.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Taya will be there, who's a friend of ours.
Yep.
At 1 o'clock, we've got Giselle,
Giselle.
Jay,
Yeah.
and Rich Swan.
Nice.
I like that.
And Mr. Ross Foreman at Impact, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We've made the announcement here.
Yep.
And we might have a few more added.
You know, to say something about Ross, that's a class gentleman right there. He's always, you know, whatever you've asked or requested, I should say, he's always come through.
Yeah, and we're going to get some
and you know what? It'll be good to see you out here, Ross.
Absolutely. And we're going to get some interviews probably in the next week or so for you guys here at Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Appreciate that.
We've also got a couple of radio stations, TV stations that are wanting to do some interviews the week of.
Heck
So
yeah.
we're definitely going to help Impacts as much as we possibly can here at Thoughts Count Anywhere
Yeah.
because they're helping us. Great lineup. I don't think there's
Absolutely.
anybody that is really missing on that for their top echelon. One. I know, but that one might not be around. But
No, not even that
okay.
one.
What are we thinking?
Bully.
Yeah, we talked about Bully, but he's got a lot to do in the back.
But he's like, yeah.
He's you know, one of their head
You got
bookers.
you got Santino though.
Santino and Mickey, I'm down.
I wonder if Santino's bringing.
I already got that weekend off.
Do you?
Santino bringing the
Good.
daughter. Wrong organization, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, once again, thank you very much to Impact. They've been
Absolutely.
working with
Absolutely.
us, and Ross informed me there might be some, you know, ads and stuff like that or changes. To me, having the belt display there is going to be huge for all the kids and the fans. Get your picture taken with the belts. To me, that's just cool for fans.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody comes with their little gimmick belts, you know, and stuff like that. These will be the actual world titles.
Yeah.
So.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, and I have somebody else we'll mention later on, but
Okay.
who's coming in.
Oh.
But let's go with the WWE report right now.
We can do this.
Thoughts on Raw 30?
It was stupid.
Stupid.
I was so annoyed by that show.
Wait a minute. I got to get my comment I sent to him.
Minus the Bray Wyatt Undertaker thing and like a handful of matches, like they always bring back the same legends. They
Because
cut
they're
the
the
cage
ones
That's
match.
the only ones they've got,
Still
brother.
alive.
No, if you're gonna do like a Raw 30 and you want to properly do it, it has to involve The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Mankind.
I was really
has
surprised that we
to.
didn't have Mick Foley appear in some regard.
I made the comment, I'm glad it was on USA and we didn't have to pay for it.
True.
True.
And I know he's gonna bring back the same people, but it's always like why randomly bring Kurt Angle out with DX and like not even explain anything for like a hot minute? I thought it was Billy Gunn for a second, so
So
I
did
was
I,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, oh what the
crossover.
hell?
Yeah.
And you know the funny thing, I know you're Ric Flair Mark, like I am.
Yeah.
They didn't even use him.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he came out and introduced
And
Charlotte.
that's it.
That was stupid.
I don't want to see Rick in the ring. I
I don't
He is
want
a shell of
No,
himself.
I don't want to see him in the ring, but I think there was, backstage at the poker game, they could have done something with him.
True.
Him and $1 Million Man and DDP, they could have really done a good cut back there, but it was just, in my mind, just a freaking gimmick, and that was it. They shouldn't even have had that.
I think that one disappointment was, to me, I was never, ever, ever a fan of Taker as the American Badass. Never. I just thought it was a horrible gimmick. So I really wanted him to come out as Taker. Especially with the dark character that Bray Wyatt, I thought it would have been better. Maybe, have the hat, take off the hat, put it on Bray, because it was supposed to be a passing of the baton. The coolest thing, in my opinion, that had me rolling was Hunter's comment. This booking shit ain't easy.
That was good.
That was, to me, the highlight of Raw 30 for me. But overall, it was an okay. Obviously, the Becky and Bayley cage match had to be cut short because of time.
Yeah.
So they had to either work a different angle with the match, and that's the angle they chose, which to me was fine. I would have loved to seen more people come down to rescue Bayley.
Yeah.
Later on, I was like, Seth taking care of the baby and back. What's going on? But
They said they scrapped it because the Bloodline thing went too long. But apparently the acknowledged ceremony got canceled because Alpha and Sika weren't able to travel, and Rikishi got the flu.
Pretty sure that's true. I'll explain why.
Offense.
Is he going to be able to explain like in the end of February?
Maybe.
Offense Sika. Well, I don't know if they still have the wrestling school up in Pittsburgh, but I know they lived up in the Pittsburgh area and had a wrestling school because they promote shows up there. So
Yeah.
Well, a shout out goes to, and I'll just, since we're kind of talking about that, I'll explain that. We might have somebody who might be a father of the bloodline at Samstown.
that's cool.
Yes,
I love him.
absolutely. One of the other people coming to Samstown is Rikishi.
Hell yeah.
We got the father of the bloodline.
Yes.
Spoke to him yesterday, a couple days ago. We've been on the phone constantly. He will be there both Saturday and Sunday.
Heck yeah. Super good guy.
And a shout out to him.
Yep.
Yes, get better. He was traveling back from
Florida.
Albuquerque.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
been doing a lot of Comic Cons. He's got a comic book coming out, so it fits right into our event here, and also the whole wrestling thing. Definitely, he'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Rikishi, great guy. I go way back with him and his family, with Rodney and that here locally. For those who don't know who Rodney is, it's Yokozuna. He lived here in Vegas for a while. So did Rodney. I'm sorry, Rikishi. And his comic book is definitely very interesting. And then he sent me some stuff on himself. His bio reads more than I even thought. So definitely I'll be sharing that on social media on the ads. But Rikishi will be there along with the laundry list of people. We've got over 25 signers for a 2-day show.
For a $5 entry fee into the show. That's nothing, folks.
Which, by the way, the $5 entry fee, everybody's like, oh, you're charging admission. You get a ticket into the event. You also get a drawing ticket for some great prizes, including autographed jerseys, a lot of stuff donated from our sponsors and other vendors. So shout out to them for doing the donations. And if you want additional tickets, they'll be available. But anybody that comes in for their $5 is also getting a drawing ticket. So
Nice.
Yeah, you don't get one.
Fun.
I know. And neither do
I
you.
don't need, no.
I've gotten most of the giveaway prizes signed myself. So whatever.
Okay, Brock.
Hey, you know what, man? That's awesome. That's awesome. I got to get that picture signed by Rikishi when he's there. That's awesome. Yeah.
I live for your happiness.
Yeah. Hey, you made my day, man.
That's
Trust me.
So,
Yes.
Rikishi, do get better. I know you were
Yes,
suffering from the
please.
flu.
Please,
Also,
please.
shout out to his wrestling school, Knox Pro Wrestling,
Yeah.
Southern California. Great place to learn how to, be in the professional wrestling business.
Yes.
And Brock Lesnar returned and attacked Bobby Lashley once again. Is this getting old?
It's going to lead to WrestleMania at some point, but they said Lesnar was going to be in the Royal Rumble, so I would bet my house Bobby Lashley eliminates him at the Royal Rumble tonight, just to keep the storyline going.
I just had a brain fart.
Well, excuse yourself. The restroom's over there.
We never did story time with Matt.
Oh, we will.
We will, though.
That's
We
fine.
will.
I know. I love your story.
He's all excited over here. Mickey James is going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, too.
WWE signs the Steiner brothers to Legends contracts. Obviously, Rick has been around for a while, obviously for his son. But your thoughts?
Scott's going to mess it up. Scott's going to mess it up somehow.
He's today's Ken Patera.
Enough said.
That guy.
Oh,
I'm excited just because I want the Steiner brothers in the
Yes.
video games and new figures of them made.
Yes.
Solely for that reason, it'll be cool until Scott Steiner does something stupid and
They
they got to cancel the figures and I'm gonna be
you know
mad.
what, though? In saying it, I hope he doesn't, though.
learned his lesson.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because obviously, if he does something stupid, it's going to
It's gonna affect Braun Breaker too.
exactly. It's going to affect the storyline all the way down. Godfather, local guy here, Bear, signed a 5-year extension with the Legends contract. Think that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
You'll be smoking some joints, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Outstanding. No, I'm glad to see it. He's a character.
Absolutely.
He's got a good character.
Got 3 good characters.
Yes, he does.
For those who don't know, obviously you've got Kama, Papa Shango, and Godfather.
Yes, sir.
A few other characters, but those are his main
He's got a
ones.
new Kama figure coming out too. They just announced.
You know what? They should do a match between him and Foley. 3 characters, 3 matches in a steel cage.
Why don't you mention that to Rikishi while he's out here? Maybe he can put a bug in somebody's ear.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I like that.
The 3 faces of the match or something like that, you know. WWE 2K, Jesus, 2K23 XYZ.
2K23.
Yeah, these video games. We'll have a War Games match. I thought they already had one.
They haven't ever put it in the video game.
Really? Okay.
But I just hope it's not to the point like they put the camera so far out that they all look small and it looks weird, but I doubt they will. I'm super excited for it to come out.
I have to be honest with you. I have never seen.
A video game.
Never
Played
played it
Pong.
since it was on Atari or something.
Play Pong.
Never.
Well, once the controllers went to more than 2 buttons, I gave up.
Your friends are in the game. You might as well buy one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Crosses in it.
Nope.
Solos in it.
I'm wondering when they're going to bring. Now that Cross and Scarlett are up on the main show, I wonder when they're going to bring the next figure out, or if they're going to.
They will.
They will.
I would hope so. That was a funny.
One of them kind of sat there for a while, so
Yeah.
might be a bit, but
Yeah.
more.
I would think so.
Hulk Hogan says he has no feeling in his legs after surgery. For somebody who's had back surgery, I can tell you neuropathy is, not fun, except when you kick, the table and,
And
your toes.
and it tingles.
Well, you don't feel anything. You're like, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
but
why's my sock wet?
exactly.
Oh, whoa.
That happened. But, I guess that's why Hogan didn't do much.
Yep.
So wish him the well.
I
wish him well.
totally can understand that.
Absolutely.
Came on the stage. Let me tell you something, brother.
We we'll skip the next bullet because we kind of talked about that with the cage match being cut short and Rikishi being sick. The Bella twins weren't part of Raw 30. And some people are not happy because not enough women had representation on the show.
The only main thing I saw about the
defer to
women was
him.
like Medusa and the belt and the poker game. They bring that up every time she's there.
Well, out of the legends of the ladies,
Where was Trish?
Trish Lita, I can think of. Stacy Keibler.
Yeah.
I mean,
How about Tori Wilson?
sure.
Molly Holly?
Absolutely.
There's
I
a
agree.
plethora of women they could have
Yeah.
brought back, and they were like,
You're stealing my words now, man. Don't be doing that to me. Don't be doing
Those big
that.
words.
Plethora.
they could have brought back a ton, and they were just like, nah, we're going to bring back the same 10 people we bring back for everything.
Well, I mean, that being said, I'll try to play different vantage points. You only have 3 hours. God, 2 hours too many sometimes. But we don't know the backstory of it.
True.
And you're
Travel. I mean, everybody is, we can all be Monday morning quarterbacks after the fact. Obviously, if one guy who likes the Bills, if Josh Allen would have done better, could have been a different outcome.
Yeah.
But
Go Niners.
but needless to say, we don't know the backstories. Maybe they were unavailable.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't want to show up. Maybe they're going to be surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble. So,
That's what I was thinking
yeah.
about the women, is that maybe they didn't want to bring them all to Monday to then bring them in Saturday to everyone be like,
because people, if you don't understand the whole workings, they get paid for their appearances. I can't tell you how many people come to me at the sports cards and collectible shows and say, why don't you have Tom Brady come in? Okay, I don't have the $2.5 million that Fanatics has.
Exactly.
These people get paid for appearances. That is their job.
Yep.
So I know there's helping people out, and Rock is definitely one that helps WWE out all the time. So is Cena. Cena's still doing all the Make-A-Wish stuff. God bless them for that.
Yes.
But needless to say, they get paid for their appearances. And with Royal Rumble right on the horizon, to me, maybe bring them out for Royal Rumble.
yeah.
Lisa Marie made a guest appearance on Impact.
Yeah.
This past week.
You know who would have got a huge pop if she'd have showed up? Her husband showed up. Sable. That would have been a huge pop if unannounced.
She's been out of the picture for quite some time.
Totally agree
and
with
maybe
you.
that's just a good thing for her.
Totally agree. But if nobody knew that she was there and she just came down the ramp, that would have been a huge pop.
Has anybody seen Sable? Like recent pictures?
No.
Maybe she's just living on the country life, and Matt's going to be Googling it now because maybe
I don't. I don't. But I would think with Brock being there,
sure,
that would have been a huge pop to come out.
Absolutely.
So,
Jerry Lawler makes his 53rd consecutive year he's been wrestling.
Yep.
He did an indie match. To me, he was the highlight of the announce team because, in my opinion, the announce team sucks.
Him and JR.
Him and JR are classics, but they need to bring Jerry Lawler back in the announcing.
That's like Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon.
Absolutely. Well, Heenan with anything is just.
Yeah. I mean, no, they do. They need to bring Jerry back. Totally agree with you.
And the fact that he's still getting in the ring 53 years consecutively in his 70s now,
He
and
did a match in Nashville.
Yeah. There's a shot in that area.
Yeah.
Did he go over?
There's Sable. And he's
we're looking at a picture of Sable. I'm glad she didn't come out. Rock, if you're listening, Matt said it.
Well, okay,
and I work at Power Play Sports and Collectibles at the Boulevard Mall. Come get me.
Ric Flair said he apologized to Becky Lynch during this past week's Raw. Buried the hatchet. I heard some of that. He made amends with a lot of people in the back. Rick's, if you watch the documentary, Rick definitely has had some skeletons in his closet for years.
Yeah.
But to me, the best part of the documentary was the fact that you had Hogan and Austin basically giving him the nod to being the man. And, being a mark of him, and I'll call it that, for those who don't know, Mark is, a wrestling fan.
Yep.
He definitely set the bar. And having, Hogan, Austin, those guys give him due props. But he had a lot of skeletons and he buried them. Obviously with Becky, it's because of the whole man gimmick.
Yeah.
To me, whenever she came out as the man, that was a nod to Rick, new generation, and the fact that they kept that going.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Buddy Rogers having any issues with Ric Flair being the nature boy.
How about Buddy Landell? He was the nature boy. He was the nature boy also.
But he couldn't hold a candle to either one of us.
No. But
I
I'm
could
just
see Rick being upset if Becky came out in a robe and was like, "Woo, I'm the man."
Yeah.
But no, she didn't.
I think Charlotte would have had something to say.
Sure,
about that.
absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, you look at it, Rick, Hulk, Rock, Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race, Nick Bockwinkel.
Bruno Sammartino, boring.
They're the ones that brought it forward. You can go eat shit and work at the moon too. But anyway, they're the ones that brought it forward to the generation today.
Becky Lynch is better.
And I see Charlotte. Charlotte, 16 times now or 14 times.
14.
So she's got to, is she going to be the one to break it?
Yeah.
That'll be the question.
Bray Wyatt listed as the number one babyface on SmackDown.
Makes sense. It's the most over person
Oh,
on SmackDown
yeah.
by a mile.
And LA
Minus
Knight,
Roman.
Eli, Sean Ricker,
Whatever you want to call him.
awesome at the mic.
Yeah, oh, gotcha.
He's there.
Him and Sami are the two best on the mic in WWE. Right?
When he came out for Raw 30 and see him in the ring with the Undertaker, that was super cool. That was my favorite moment just because
He was geeking out because he got to work with Taker.
He was trying so hard to keep it together.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like somebody that we know that geeked out last night with Rey Mysterio. That was one of his favorites.
I know.
You know it, man. Don't you even look at
And
me.
he was willing to take the 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
This one brings a smile and a laugh. This point, and then after this point, we're going to go to story time with Matt because I'm sure you have a story time.
We'll just go to Chiefs.
Chief, okay,
Chiefs
we'll go to
rant.
Chiefs rant. The last point on this category is Enzo says he has no interest in returning to WWE. Does anyone want to see him return at this point? And he might have no interest, but does WWE have any interest?
That's what I saw. And I was
Yeah.
like, wouldn't WWE have to be interested for you to even consider being interested?
There's too much history.
Isn't he wrestling on MLW or something?
I'm sure he is.
Enzo?
I don't keep track of what that
No,
is.
I don't either. But that's what I heard.
Yeah, there's too much dirt there. Yeah.
Interesting.
And he's not Ric Flair where he can bury the hatchet with people.
No.
Doesn't have that character. So with that being said, the Chiefs rant. What do we think? Can we have our intro, if possible?
There you go.
The new intro.
He's got a new
He's
intro.
got a new.
General of quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so. Good morning. Good morning.
Before we go to that,
Yes, sir.
what the fuck was that?
That was awesome. That kept your attention.
Matt's looking at me. My chin hit the ground. I mean, oh my god. Okay.
Hey, brought back memories, didn't it?
Of what? What?
With Popeye in the boat, man.
Who's
That's
Popeye?
it's the guy that eats the spinach. You fucking young whippersnapper. Anyway, good morning, folks. It's the chief. I'm going to take a couple minutes because we still got a lot to cover. And serious, I just want to carry on the conversation we were having a little bit earlier. You know, we're all. Well, I'll say I am. I'm a mark for wrestling, and so is Scott, and so is Matt. And we realize about the wrestlers. We're fortunate. We know and have met a lot of them after wrestling shows when they're human beings. And as Scott alluded to earlier, you like that? Alluded to? That's pretty damn good for the old guy.
Big words.
Yeah. My false teeth didn't fall out either. But we have to realize that they are human beings. And, you know, we say things on this here or on this here, and, you know, it hurts when we cuss or bitch at them or, well, you should have done this. No, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, you shouldn't have. You know what? Let's just all take a step back and enjoy the wrestling and let the wrestlers do what they do best and what they get paid for. And when they walk out of the ring, be kind to them. And remember, they are human beings just like we are. So with that, that's the Chiefs rant today, over and out. Hopefully I did good. I hope so.
No, you definitely said it the way it should be. Yeah, we forget, you know, that people hide behind their keyboard, bitch and complain all they want because there's no repercussions.
True.
Yeah, Donald Trump who? But
I mean, even all the wrestlers that we've met, I can't think of one that I really, in human life, dislike.
there's a few I dislike.
Oh, there's a few.
There's more than a few, but that's
we've
not them
got
as a wrestler.
We've got your back, so
That's
you ain't
not
gonna
as a
worry
wrestler.
I
about
didn't
It's
see
a
your name
human
on that
being.
list
Yeah.
either.
But the thing of it is, there's too much access. Like you said, people within 30 seconds can, destroy somebody's life with this. Yep. And, then there's no repercussions because once it's out there, it's out there. There's no deleting text messages, or memes and things like that. Think before you hit that send button.
It's like Mike Tyson said, people are getting a little too comfortable behind that keyboard with realizing they can't get punched in the face.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, that's how
I saw a show a couple weeks ago.
That's how we used to settle things in the old days.
Absolutely. But, just remember, one thing I want to bring up that I don't see here on the list, and it'll end with that with the WWE report, is other than, Raw 30 not being as impressive to you, but don't forget we do have Royal Rumble coming up, which we'll touch on. How have you liked the shows in the last 2 or 3 weeks?
You haven't seen me wear my creative writing shirt lately, so that answers that.
Minus like the last week's Raw, ever since Triple H has taken over, Raw is like it's on an upward angle.
And the reason why I bring that up to both of you is just over the past, I'll say 30 days, I've heard a lot of bitching and complaining that Vince McMahon's going to ruin the WWE. But other than us hearing that he's back, it's exactly what you and I and most of us figured out is the man's just upstairs trying to cut a deal to either sell or find the new network and make the TV deal work. Right. He is staying out of creative. But all these people that are bitching and moaning about it, hello, where's your keyboard? Hello, I'm sorry.
Yep.
He's pretty much stayed out of it. Like I said, Hunter's comment on Raw 30 was, to me, amazing. And, you can't do everything on one show. And I really hope that Royal Rumble kicks off tonight and has a good show. So with that being said, why don't we take a quick little break, sir? And then we'll come back with Matt's story time because I'm so excited about that. We'll be back.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, ADHD, pain, inflammation, dealing with mental or physical health issues, or know someone who is? Relax, refresh, recover, revive. Natural health alternatives using hemp-derived CBD and other cannabinoids found in hemp are increasingly becoming more effective in managing various symptoms that affect your body, state of mind, and daily life. Planet Harvest Health's mission is to help those looking for natural, new, and better solutions for a healthier way of life, specializing in small batch, handcrafted alternatives, providing higher quality and a cost-effective product. Go to planetharvesthealth.com for more information and education on how we can help you.
Welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. And we saw our commercial for the hemp stuff and the little thingies, chewies. Yeah. One of my dogs takes that stuff.
Yeah.
Calms her down just fine.
There you go.
She sits there and watches TV. Wow.
Like the one guy, it was like a meme I saw yesterday, and it was like, I need to really stop taking all these edibles. He's like, I wanted cookies, and I cooked them at 15 degrees for 400 minutes instead of...
We all know somebody in the wrestling business when they first came out with edibles who ate a cookie who had like a lot of knee and hip problems, and we'll just name him as Big Sexy.
Yeah.
And who basically said he would always toss and turn, and he ate one, came in for an appearance, literally ate a cookie and said the maid didn't even need to make the bed. He did not move, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, anyway, Royal Rumble is on tap for this evening.
Yeah.
But before we go to Royal Rumble, let's go to story time with Matt.
Okay.
All story time. Matt
today because that was the most craziest thing I have like walked into in a minute. Denny's calls me and they're like, "Hey, there's a suspicious guy over by Denny's. Can you come check it out?" And it was like 8 in the morning. I was like, just got there, and I was like, "Yeah, no problem." Usually, I'm like, walk into a situation, kind of got your wits about you, make sure your surroundings are kind of like already like mentally like there. I wasn't yet, and I was just like, let me go over there. I go around the corner. There's this guy live recording. There's an AR-15 this way. There's an AR-15 this way. And he's got like 4 handguns like on his hips. And I was like, oh God. Called 911 and I was like, I need people. There's a guy with like multiple weapons and he's like live recording. And they were like, is he doing anything suspicious? And I was like, he's got 2 AR-15s and he's recording about something about shooting. That's pretty suspicious. And they were like, oh, let us know if he does anything. And I was like, the only thing above this is him opening fire.
Me being a first responder, I give shout out to all our officers. Sometimes the dispatchers don't take things so seriously as some of you are aware. I had an incident at my house and the neighbor's house where some kids with BB guns decided to shoot out all the windows. And something very similar was, them calling me because of the police report and saying, do you know where they live and who they are? And I'm thinking to myself, if I did, wouldn't need you around.
Yeah, true.
Matt and Ryan would be going with me.
I'd be on the way.
You were befuddled, were you?
Yeah.
I was awake like this.
I hope.
And then I saw like one of the cops I know like an hour later, and I was like, this happened and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, and he was like, yeah, we know about that guy. He goes, every time he's out, we always keep an eye on him. And I was like, what's he doing?
Fake guns? Real guns?
No, they're real. It's like, he's like one of those
militia, blah, blah,
First
blah.
Amendment, like auditor people or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Sure.
And I was like, what's he doing? And they were like, I don't know. No one's ever going up and talked to him. And I was like, even you guys haven't gone up and talked to this guy? Why? But
because he has guns.
They know where he is and stuff, but like I don't mind people having guns and whatnot. It's their right and whatever.
No,
but it's a little suspicious going Fremont Street
Well,
with like multiple assault rifles
and it's especially out in public,
and more ammo than I've probably seen somebody in like Afghanistan have. I was like,
especially out in public where guests are going down Fremont Street and
Well,
I was like, you can take out the bums if you want.
know what
I don't
I'm
really
saying.
care, but
You know what I'm saying.
But, like you mentioned, the gentleman has a First Amendment right. But on the other hand, with all the stuff going on in the world right now, who's to not say that somebody who has a right to carry concealed weapon, the CCW, doesn't take it upon himself to take the guy out because he's thinking that he is, well, it for sure looks like it, that he could be
like the next mass shooter.
Exactly. So,
If I was
it could
strapped,
definitely take, these are things that we really need to. And once again, the gentleman's filming. So what is he doing? He's garnering attention with this thing.
Yep.
You have a right. It's the law to carry. But, you might want to think the whole different vantage point of, somebody who has a CCW walking up and going, dude, you're going to take out 100 people. I'm going to take you out and drop you in a heartbeat. So you might want to rethink all that. But,
True.
That's just my take.
Didn't need an energy drink that day.
Didn't need one, huh?
No, I mean, if
Needed a White Claw. That's shout out to the good brothers.
Still puking my car.
I mean, I've gone into a store, coming from the shooting range and gone into a store and managers come up to me and said, sir, do you realize you have something on your shoulder? And I go, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, would you do me a favor? I said, would you escort me out to my car?
Sure.
So that I can put it in my trunk and secure it?
Absolutely.
And that's the right way to do it.
Well, being a store owner and being in multiple
you know what
malls,
I'm saying.
you got to remember, and you have a right to CCW all you want.
Exactly.
Except on private property.
Exactly.
You know, I know the malls that I've been in.
Yep.
They have signs at the door, you know, and nobody reads. Trust me, no one reads. But if you're on private property, those rights are not yours.
Exactly.
So, you know, I know at the Galleria, the Boulevard, which I've had, they had signs, you know, and they would escort you out.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we would have the confrontation of, I have a right to do that. Okay, remember you're on private property, but you know, that enough being said, let's talk about
that argument every day of my
every
life.
day of your life. So let's talk about Royal Rumble. Let's get back to business.
We can do this.
What is your favorite Royal Rumble moment? Matt?
I would have to go Santino getting eliminated in like 1 second.
You, sir?
Or Titus O'Neil falling.
That's what I was going to say. Titus falling.
My whole thing is the Royal Rumble in general, because a true friend, God rest in peace, came up with it. Everybody had battle royals, but the Royal Rumble was invented by Pat Patterson.
Yep.
God rest his soul. Great friend of mine, great person who definitely deserves more credit. In my opinion, the Royal Rumble should be renamed as the Pat Patterson Royal Rumble, just like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
I'm okay with that.
I'd be fine with that.
You know,
Royal Rumble's one of my favorite events of the year.
I thank you for allowing me to meet Mr. Patterson. God rest his soul. Funny human being. He could have done a stand-up comedy act.
Oh, he did at times.
Oh,
too.
did
Yeah,
he?
He did. And the best part was, and you know, my involvement for over close to 20 years, 15 years on the board of the CAC.
Yeah.
Seeing Pat every year, having dinner with him, having him do signings for me. For those who don't know, he was gay, which is fine.
Exactly.
But he took it in stride. Now, it depended on who you were. Bobby Heenan could give a speech and just have fun with it. You were there for many of them where he would just bring up, but then, somebody like a Ken Patera, shut the F up, but
okay,
he definitely rolled with it. And it did not affect how people thought of him. We had fun with it. We joked, and it was all in good taste. Remember that good taste.
He liked his beer too.
Yes. Pat was, and he loved singing on the mic. So to me, it should be the Pat Patterson Royal Rumble. He's just a great man.
That's
It's like younger me that was like a huge wrestling fan would have told myself I'd be sitting at a bar with Gerald Briscoe, Pat Patterson, JR, JBL. Like just shooting the shit.
Best part I had
crazy.
at CAC was one time sitting at the table with Pat Patterson, JR, just sitting there and looking back and forth at these two men, and then having other legends and going, I pretty much got Vince McMahon's brain trust right here. It's just amazing. And I think a lot of the Hollywood writers that have gotten involved, Perez being one, really need to go back and watch some old footage. I know you and I agree, Bruno Sammartino, I know you're going to, but learn how to tell the storyline.
Yeah, but he always jokes about old school, but the names he just mentioned,
he knew them.
They were all in the ring with.
Shout out to Garth out there. Garth Finley Mazda, him and Brandon.
Hey, Garth.
Yeah.
Hope you're feeling well today, buddy.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you tomorrow.
Shout out to Finley Mazda, where those two gentlemen work.
Yes.
A huge supporter of wrestling here. Also, all the events I do. So shout out to them.
Yeah, you need cars. Go down and see Garth and Brandon.
I might be down there this afternoon, helping my ex-wife. But anyway, yeah. Memory, we kind of talked about memories, but let's talk about surprise entry into the Royal Rumble, and then we'll close out the with some predictions, and we'll close out this first hour.
I heard an interesting comment this morning on my other favorite show. Asuka coming back as her old character.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Coming into the Rumble. What about Natty? Natty.
Yeah, well, we're talking about legends. I could see Natty coming back.
Because I think she's over her broken nose now.
She could come in for all of 5 seconds or one gimmick.
Or what if she won the belt? What if Natty won the Rumble? And
that's the promos we all want to see going into WrestleMania.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying realistically, Natty's never really, in my opinion, had her chance. Okay, she has as a tag team, but as a single, as a Hart. Okay, as a Hart, part of the Hart family. In my opinion, she's never really had her chance, and I wouldn't mind seeing Natty win the Rumble and then going for one of the championship belts. Not saying she's got to hold it long, but give her dues to win the belt.
All I'm saying is
she's put so many people over,
and she was the champion, and it was so memorable you forgot about it.
Other surprise entrants tonight:
Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
Okay, I guess I don't talk about
Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. Chelsea Green and Matt. Who the hell cares about Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona?
Who's Matt Cardona?
Who is he?
I heard Zack Ryder might come back.
He did trademark his old name.
He did. For those who that wasn't in the news, so
that was smart.
Yeah, it was in the news last week, but now he's I guess WWE they're not renewing any of the trademarks.
Right.
So now that his catchphrases are going on, he trademarked the woo woo woo, it, and all the other ones.
So they're not trademarking nothing. No. It's all about business.
That's why Santino Marella is able to use Santino Marella at Impact because they let it go. And
so it's all about business now.
Santino did an interview and they were like, "How are you able to use your name?" And whenever Scott D'Amore signed somebody who used to be in WWE, he always texted trademarks. And they usually are always trademarked, but that one wasn't.
So you know what? Let me stop for a minute. I want to ask you an honest question. It's not on this sheet. You being a wrestling mind, what do you see happening with the company WWE? Who do you see possibly buying it?
I would say probably right now the leading person would be the Disney Corp. They've got ESPN for a number of years. People forgot ESPN has a WWE category on it. Yep. They've got the money. The whole Saudi thing I don't think will work very well. Obviously they have the money, but I just don't think it's in their wheelhouse. It's sort of like Ted Turner buying, that wrestling company and then turning it over to Jim Herd and then destroying it. But with that being said, why don't we end with my surprise entrant, and then we'll take our break because we already passed top of the hour. So with that being said, I just want to, do I think she's going to be there? No. But do I want her to be there? Yes. Because she sure as hell deserves it. And I will take anybody to task to tell me she doesn't. That being one, Tessa Blanchard. We'll be back after this commercial break.
I would pop out of my mind if she showed up.
I'm Miss Murder, and I have a question for you. Have you ever explored the beauty in horror? I'm Mercedes M. Yardley, known as Miss Murder. I'm a dark fantasist who wears poisonous flowers in my hair. Among my many titles, I'm the author of the Stabby award-winning book titled Apocalyptic Montessa and Nuclear Lulu, A Tale of Atomic Love, as well as winning the prestigious Bram Stoker Award for my novella, Little Dead Red. My short story, Loving You Darkly, also received a Bram Stoker nomination. Check out all of my titles at www.mercedesmyardley.com, where I remind you that all things are dark, darling.
Well, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, the second hour. I'm Scott Hosey filling in for Aaron Phillips. We've got the Chief. We've got Matt. Thomas on hiatus because he's pretending to be sick. But anyway.
And some bald-headed guy somewhere.
Well, that's Aaron. He's out peddling his books on Fremont Street. He's got that little dot, right?
He's in one of the circles.
Yeah,
right
one of the circles. Yeah.
I thought he couldn't make bail.
Wow.
Oh!
That's a different Aaron that can't afford.
Coming from the bullpen.
That's a different Aaron that can't afford bail, as Matt would say. Anyway, we're continuing on with Royal Rumble predictions, and a shout out to Garth to answer your question because he's texting me during the show. Thank you, Garth. Royal Rumble predictions. Matt, the men's.
Matt's over there.
Yeah. So confusing.
If The Rock doesn't come back, I'm going to say my pick is either Sami Zayn or Cody Rhodes.
Chief?
I can't decide between the two.
I'm taking Sami Zayn.
Everybody's on the Cody Rhodes thing, but I really, truly believe he can do better right now working with Seth. So unless they bring something like that in, I would definitely go with somehow Sammy's going to screw up.
But, you know,
how about Solo winning the Royal Rumble?
That would be interesting. Here's the thing. We don't know what Roman has in store for Sami. He just said he didn't want to see Sami until
Saturday for his final test.
So
another person, a friend of our show, had a run, and the run was supposed to be against Roman. Maybe Cross comes out and somehow gets involved, because that's kind of quieted down, and the whole thing with Ray has kind of ended as of last night, in my opinion. But they could play that out some.
No, I think you're right. I think it's going to go a different way.
Sure.
Solo would be good. Who don't,
or cause Solo to win it because Sami screws up?
Who don't we expect though?
That could win it?
Yeah, normally whoever wins it, you don't expect.
Oh no, it's pretty predictable every year except for this year. Like the last couple haven't been predictable.
The only one would be Edge, because no one knew he was coming back.
Yeah.
But on the women's side, Royal Rumble winner,
Rhea Ripley.
I would either go Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan.
I think the crowd's behind Liv, and I think she's going to get a second chance. Undisputed, Universal, Heavyweight, Toy Belt, Champion that doesn't mean anything, Roman Reigns, because, oh my God, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, to me, it's Roman without a doubt. I don't see them putting the belt on Kevin Owens.
I see Kevin winning, and then it's going to go to the Elimination Chamber, and Roman's going to win it back.
I think Roman retains with help from Sami Zayn, but then Sami Zayn wins the Rumble, and all hell breaks loose for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Step down.
Roman's gonna make him like
maybe he sells his entry to someone,
Could and I brought this up last week. If the company is sold, okay, doesn't there need to be one belt on Fox and one belt on USA Championship?
That's what they're talking about, and
that's where I could see Roman losing,
but
if Roman even wrestles you.
But I go back to the territory days where, Flair had the NWA belt and he would go to Mid-South.
The real belt.
Yeah. He would go to different, I don't see anyone needing to be a universal heavyweight, blah, blah, blah champion. Just go back to one belt and have that person do his due, because in the old days, that champion, and a story that I had with Nick Bockwinkel is he was actually offered to come down from the Crockett's to defeat Flair for the NWA belt. But the AWA champion only had to work weekends and a few, his dates were like 100 days a year, where the NWA Flair was working, and he talked to Harley about it. Harley Race, God rest his soul, one of the great legends. 365 days, he was working over 300 days a year. And Nick was like, I'll stay here in Minnesota and be the champion up here. Because, the champion had to do his due. So, maybe that's a problem. But in my opinion, go back to one belt, have that champion do double duty. If you want to carry that belt, buddy or lady, here you go.
Yep.
Do your due. But, today's generation, a little soft.
Because it was Nick, it was Rick, and it was Bruno at one time.
Sure. And then, you had
and then Backlund
came in.
Yep.
The ladies Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I tossed that out there.
With help from Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss.
Which there's more talk about Uncle Howdy, and it sounds like I had hit the nail on the head there, because some brother has been backstage at most appearances and then disappearing during the Uncle Howdy part.
I think Bianca's going to retain, and I think the storyline's going to continue on until WrestleMania, and then Alexa's going to get her due and win the belt at WrestleMania. That's what I think's going to happen. But I think
Bianca is so over right now. I mean, Alexa, obviously, but I think which way is Alexa going? That's a merchandising thing. If she going, heel, face, dark side, that type of
thing. Same thing with Bray. I mean, even Bray, even though Bray's
a face
now, for how long did we see him as a heel? Can he revert back to that? Sure he can.
Yeah.
We don't know where that, in my mind, I'll just say I don't know where that storyline is going.
I don't know. Everyone thought he was going to do all this certain he was going to bring back old gimmicks. He did an interview with Ryan Satin that just aired yesterday.
Right.
And he was asking him about bringing the Wyatt family back. And he was, I'm never wearing one of those Hawaiian shirts again. I can never bring that back. Because if Brody's not here, it doesn't make sense to do it without him.
Exactly.
He goes, I can't do that without my best friend.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. I agree.
And he said the Fiend died at WrestleMania.
Oh, did he? Okay.
And he said he can't do that either. So his new stuff's coming out. That guy has a crazy mind for wrestling, but
not just wrestling. From what I understand, he's very creative in movies and stuff also.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember when the Fiend stuff first happened, I met him and I was just talking to him, and I was dude, this stuff's so cool. Come up with cool ideas and all this stuff. And he's we've only seen 10% of what I have planned.
His
comes from a good family.
His brother's creative too. Very creative.
Yeah, Liv said so.
Yeah.
Another match on the card is the Lights Out match with LA Knight, Shawn Ricker, Eli Drake versus. Another person that can have three faces of Eli. But LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt.
Nobody's going to win.
What?
Nobody's going to win.
Because they can't see it. It's lights out.
This is where I think we're really going to get to see what Bray's going to go. His new character.
Well, with the lights out, obviously, other things can happen. Uncle Howdy can appear. Alexa could appear. A number of other characters could appear.
Yeah, you could get
all Kermit, Miss Piggy, all the Muppets out.
You could get IRS out there.
Pay his dues to LA Knight.
There's all sorts of stuff could happen, but they never really said what a lights out match is yet. So I guess we'll figure it out today. And I think Bray Wyatt's going to win no matter whatever.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt walks out of that. LA's Shawn Ricker's done his part.
I hate to see it.
Yeah,
I hate to see it because it held our attention.
Oh, it did.
With LA,
it put LA Knight over, in my opinion. Especially the whole thing with the Taker and Bray for Raw 30.
Yes.
Definitely, he has stepped up his game and gotten on the main card, where before he was kind of buried. I mean, he was buried in NXT. He was buried with the whole modeling gimmick. He's actually getting his due.
I was listening to some interview of him. Without looking at him, if you were to put the sound on and not realize it's him, do you know what you realize how much he sounds like The Rock, for real?
Well, I mean, that's a compliment when when you copy somebody or follow in their footsteps. It is not
even the mannerisms or anything like that, but he literally just sounds like The Rock is talking. And another cool LA Knight fact, He's been doing the like motion capture for the video games for like most characters for years.
Yeah.
And no one even realizes it's him.
He's that good.
Yeah.
And
He is.
and we've had the good fortune of meeting him through you before he's gotten to where he's at today.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
Raider
definitely.
show is still like the funnest.
The Raider Fest show.
Raider Fest.
Yeah, when
That was still like the funnest show you've done.
Yeah, we had Sabu, Genie, Cross,
Tessa,
and
Greg
Valentine, Sean Ricker.
Where was this at? Cali.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go back to
Marty. Marty's a character.
I
Marty the Moth.
want to go back to the Women's Royal Rumble.
Mhm. Spit it out. Come on.
Bully made an interesting observation. There was a question asked about who from NXT in the women's side would he like to see go up. And one of the young women from out here who is on NXT was Zoe. And what, in my opinion, when Bully says she has it, I think she is going to be an interesting participant in the Royal Rumble today.
What about, when you talk about different surprise entrants, or maybe not a surprise, but a winner, Sonya Deville.
The Jersey girl. Did you know that? She born and raised in Jersey, man. She Garden State all the way. Yeah, buddy.
Does that affect anything?
Hell
Is it
yeah.
tea in China or what?
Hell yeah.
That's those two favorite things. They're from New Jersey.
That's what I'm
It's not
talking
From the
about.
armpit of America.
That's what I'm talking about.
Joyzy.
In the words of Bret Hart, if America ever needed an enema, he's going to stick the tube right in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Ronald mentions, what if Scarlett wins
Yeah.
the Rumble?
No.
No. I think she'll be in it.
Possibly.
Yeah, want to have one of the ladies.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I like Tessa, though.
We all,
I
I
like
will lose
Tessa.
my damn mind if Tessa Blanchard comes out there.
it is in San Antonio.
That's where she is.
It's been crazier things happening.
Yeah.
You know?
Shout out goes to Tessa. So with that being said, why don't we take another break?
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll look to see if anybody like Ronald or Thomas, we'll call him, Garth, or any of our listeners out there that just popped up on the screen want to call in and give us their predictions. Once again, we'll be back in a few minutes. This is Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Scott, Chief, and Matt.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
This is Scott Hosey. This is Thoughts Count Anywhere. I am filling in for our host, Aaron Phillips, who's out on assignment selling his book somewhere in America on Amazon.
Who?
Yeah.
Should have spelled my name right.
Who?
We got Matt. We got Chief.
Who?
Yeah. Who? Are you
Okay.
an owl?
Who? No, I'm saying who, not hoot.
We got rid of 2 Aarons and 1 chick.
Anyway, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Yes, we are. Tune in because the chief said so.
Absolutely. So let's see about taking, if any of our listeners out there want to give us their predictions, they can put it in the chat room here, or our phone number, which I'm assuming is up on the board there, sir. No, that is not the phone number. So what is the phone number?
There is no phone number.
We
There
don't
is
have
no
a
phone
phone
number.
number
Not
yet.
today.
Oh, okay. Aaron's using it on his hiatus to
It's broke.
he's selling books like
Hope
mad
he's
on
not
the
responsible for that phone bill.
phone. Yeah, that phone bill. Okay.
Do we want to talk about this?
Sure, we can talk about that again. Once again, Thoughts Count Anywhere is one of my sponsors. You guys, I appreciate it. They will be having the show right there at Samstown on February 25th and 26th. It's our sports card toys collectible show. It's Baby Unicon, we'll call it. And don't forget, Impact Pro Wrestling, huge sponsor for us. They are running their pay-per-view at Samstown on Friday night, which is the 24th, with No Surrender. And then following up with Fallout Night 1 TV taping and Fallout Night 2 TV taping on Saturday and Sunday nights. So there's going to be a whole weekend of wrestling. So we've incorporated our sports card toys and collectibles show. Shout out goes to Impact, Game Day, Captain Ticket, My Four Sons, Pop Shack, Chadman Designs, Galaxy Movie Theater, Sequest, Golden Knights, the Aviators, the Desert Dogs. If I'm missing any, Finley Mazda, Garth and Brandon. You guys here at Thoughts Count Anywhere. Once again, you guys will be doing the show from there, and then Aaron Phillips will be hosting his Aaron's Hour from down there.
Yeah, we'll be doing it Saturday morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our normal time.
And some of our guests from Glow, we've got Roxy, Sunny, and the Royal Hawaiian, April. They will all be signing autographs. Sabu will be there, ECW legend. We got Sin Bodhi Kazarni from WWE will be signing on Sunday. He's actually wrestling down in Phoenix on Saturday.
Yeah.
This is something that people don't know about Sin. He is a tattoo artist and does throwbacks to the old LJN figures. So
great figures.
His custom figures are super
Custom
cool.
figures are cool.
They are freaking awesome.
Yes. Willie Galt from the Bears, Raiders, and Olympic team, part of the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing. I got my
Tennessee, blah blah blah. Okay.
They're from Tennessee.
From WWE, we've got Hall of Famer Rikishi.
Yes.
Father of the Bloodline being there. Yeah. Okay. You're pointing to the sky.
Yeah.
Is there a leak? Okay. And you're acknowledging me. I appreciate that.
Father, 3/4 of the bloodline.
Yes.
Yes.
And very proud Papa. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, he and I were talking, and basically he mentioned the picture that we had customed up. It's like you got to dye, you got to Photoshop the kid's hair to blonde.
Him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sepha, Jimmy, and Jay, and who else was Rikishi's on it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from Impact, and once again, a thank you goes out to Impact Ross Foreman. We've got the Motor City Machine Guns signing at the same time as Josh Alexander. So you got the tag champs and the heavyweight champion.
Good tag team too.
Yeah. Deanna Purrazzo. We've got Steve Macklin.
Yep.
Brian Myers, Dirty Dango, who is Fandango in WWE, if you don't know that.
Gotcha.
Santino Morella.
Yes.
Frankie.
I cannot wait for that.
I can't wait for what time are they?
Who?
Santino.
I've turned into the owl.
Santino.
Santina and Frankie Kazarian at 1 p.m. And usually Frankie comes with somebody, his lovely wife.
She's awesome. Very nice.
Brooks, so
she's very nice lady.
Floating around.
That was the funniest thing when we were at Impact that one day, and they were right behind us,
sitting up,
and then the kids and her were
booing dad and husband.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yep.
We were both like, "What?"
Yep.
Her and Gail Kim did a signing, and Gail is working in the back right now. So if she makes it out here, maybe she'll be part of this lineup.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Victoria just signed with them too.
Yeah, she's doing per appearance events, so maybe she'll come on down. But Ross has given me this list that we will be putting on the website, on Power Play Sports Collectibles, on the Facebook website, and we're going to do some videos. Shout out to V360, Fonzie, and Sable for putting together all our video stuff. Sunday, we're going to have Tommy Dreamer, Eddie Edwards, Alicia. 11 o'clock, I know where Matt's going to be. Mickey James, Trey Miguel, followed by Taya and the ladies, the Death Dolls.
Rosemary and Jessica Havoc.
Whichever she wants to go by. Or Rosemary.
Rosemary's, I like her.
But
I like her.
Obviously Taya is going to be there. I wonder if their husband's going to be around.
He was at the last one.
Yeah. Johnny Impact. Yeah. And we're going to finish up at 1 p.m. because obviously for those who, the show runs 10 to 6. The wrestling will start usually about 6 o'clock that night. So come to the event. You might be able to get free tickets.
Yeah. You never
to the
know.
events. Yeah. And
Never know.
for people like, why aren't the wrestlers running? They have call time or a bell time.
Yes, they
They
do.
do have a show to do.
Yeah, so they have to go get ready for the show, things like that. But finishing up the evening will be Giselle and Jay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and Rich Swann. So we got a star-studded lineup coming.
Oh, Jay's going to be there?
Yeah.
JAI?
Yep.
Cool.
They have the potential of having the original Impact champion on Saturday,
Yep.
and if Rich Swann wins the title on Saturday,
I was going to say we could have
he might
both champions there. Do you see Rich taking out Josh Alexander?
If Bully ends up interfering, which he probably will, possibly.
Are we forgetting about our friend Moose?
I was,
He's busy dealing with Joe Hendry.
when I
Yeah,
heard,
but still.
you had to bring that name up, didn't you?
You don't believe?
No,
Got to believe?
no. So, never mind.
Speaking of Joe Hendry, did you guys watch Impact last week? Cardona was actually on there.
You have a personal message in the chat room.
I don't get Impact.
Feeling better.
What? Yeah.
Feeling better. Still got the sniffles, but still manage to go to work every day. It's fine.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh dear God! Don't.
Yes,
fall.
we know.
We saw.
Yeah.
We saw.
He's tripping over cables, which has never happened here before. One time in how many weeks?
What cables?
Yeah, what cables?
Oh, sweet.
I'm glad you're feeling.
I didn't say that, did I?
I know. Where were we at?
We always worry about Matt, man.
I'm all right.
The man.
I've been through way worse.
The man works hours upon hours upon hours, and still always comes through.
Honestly, to get me to miss work, I have to be in a hospital bed physically,
I think he would be here before.
and they have to like
work.
restrain me to like freaking not like leave.
So with the lineup that's been announced, who do you want to see?
Duh.
Mickey James, Mickey James, Mickey James, and Mickey James.
He's gonna bring a cowboy hat too.
I had the good fortune.
I'm dressing up.
I had the good fortune of meeting
You
her
look like Woody from Toy Story.
at the last Impact out here. I had the good fortune of meeting her. She's an awesome lady. I'm looking forward to seeing Rikishi again. I really, really am.
Good dude.
Yes, very good, very good.
Remember when he stopped you at LAX Fan Fest and like thanking you for what you did to the family and all that stuff? That was cool.
Yeah, the family and I go back way back with the, Rodney Yoko being here. I had him a number of times. I still wish I would have had more autographs of his. They sell real well, by the way.
Yeah, they're very hard to get.
And now they are. I
Yes.
don't have any. Well, I
Yes.
think I have one left in inventory at the
You want
Boulevard
to
Mall.
sell it?
Yeah. Power Play Sports Collectibles at the Boulevard Mall. Yeah, I mean,
But to see where when we knew Cepha,
Yeah.
starting out here,
yep.
and
And which is surprising because he started Knox Pro.
Yes.
Dad's place,
Well, of
and
course.
Dad basically
Yes.
told him,
get out.
go out on your own and make it. And he did. And I give him all the credit in the world. You got to sometimes leave the nest.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He went over to FSW here and Joe DeFalco and the guy gang over there. Good shout out to them. So,
And he gained a fan base.
sure he did.
And let's look at it. Kevin's gained a fan base. Seth has gained
Fan
a
base.
fan base. Zoe's gained a fan base.
Chris Bay.
Chris Bay's gained a fan base. They've all grown, and they're all on the big stages now, and that that says something about if you want to meet wrestlers, go to your independent shows, and that's where you'll start meeting them at, and they'll grow and grow. And oh, by the way, so and so's on SmackDown. So-and-so's on Impact.
MLW.
MLW, Mr.
They all start
Hammerstone.
somewhere.
Yes.
There's a bunch of them from FSW right now, if I'm not mistaken, over at New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I saw 3 or 4 of them taking a picture over at the dojo in Cali. So who knows if some of them are getting ready to go over to Japan.
I always laugh when like Ring of Honor or somebody would come to town and like we'd see
Why
them like
am I-
around the casino.
I'm looking at the chat room. Why am I taking the criticism when it was your comments?
What the hell's up here? And hope you and she.
He hit it there.
We're doing well. We're doing well.
That was your comment, not mine. I just laughed and started like going to the comedy show. You know, you laugh at the comedian. You didn't say the joke.
It was always funny during like Ring of Honor shows and like I go around getting pictures and
sure
other friends would show up and like, you want to get a picture with that guy? They're going to be a big deal. Well, they're not in WWE. I don't care. And then they get signed to WWE. And they're like, oh, I wish I met that person. I'm like, remember at Sam's Town? Talk to him for like a minute.
You know, Jay.
Yes.
The night he wrestled Impact the first time, he had a few 8x10 Impact pictures, and I bought one from him.
Nice.
Signed it. I've got it at home hanging up on the wall, and you know what? He's starting to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Joe has done. Yeah, for people who don't know the history, I had an indie here in town years and years ago, and Joe came to me, and Joe has really developed into a promoter, indie, pretty much running the city here for independent wrestling. So I give him all the credit in the world, and he has developed a lot of talent. You know, he's had some help with guys coming in. You know, we didn't mention Chris, but you mentioned him shortly thereafter. You know, he came through the school here.
Yes.
You know, part of the Bullet Club.
Oh, you look at some of the trainers they've got there: Sin Bodie, Kenny King.
Yeah, we forgot about Kenny. Yeah, Kenny.
Mike Modest used to be there.
Absolutely.
And I hate to say it, Disco Inferno. I had to say it though.
You know, I heard from an old friend of mine.
Talk to me.
Recently, I sent him some pictures of some wrestlers that are still in the business that he admires, but that Dino Dinelli.
There's another one.
So
there's another one, and Dino was. He could
from your part of the country, Jersey.
He could get in the character real quick.
Yeah,
definitely. Even when like Cross was here, you could just look at him and be like, that dude's going somewhere for sure.
Oh, I knew right away. I mean, I nominated him for the Future Legends Award, which recently changed its name at the Cauliflower Alley because I knew he had it. He had the it factor.
The it factor.
And Joe noticed that with a lot of his talent. Zoe, you mentioned. Maserati is she's working around the Indies and definitely going places. But definitely, we need to support the Indies here, and not only here, but around the country.
FSW tomorrow at the Silver Nugget, 5 p.m.
3 cage matches, right?
Main event: Hammerstone against Ice Williams in a cage.
So they call it the ice cooler match?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they're calling it. But
what are the other 2 cage matches? Let's
Viva Van versus Maserati. And I believe the other one is going to be Nick Xander against
we're testing them now.
Nick Bugatti. That is the 3rd cage match.
Maybe a former couple can console each other with their injuries.
I don't think so. I doubt that very seriously. But they're the 3 cage matches. And like I say, it's going to be a good show. 5 p.m. Silver Nugget. If you can make it out, come on out. Be there because the chief said so.
So who did their homework? Because it wasn't me.
My shout out to FSW.
Absolutely. Who did birthdays? Anybody?
I've got them.
You got the birthdays?
I've got the
Why
birthdays.
don't we start with the birthdays right now?
We can do the birthdays when Mr. John T keys it up for me.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Okay, here we go. January 28th, which I believe is today. Shark Boy, Sheamus, Bronson Matthews and Sonata. Tomorrow, January 29th, Bob Hardcore Holly. January 30th, Becky Lynch and Rockstar Spud, who you don't hear a lot about anymore. January 31st, Finley, the Giant Gonzalez, and Knuckles Matson. February 1st, Ronda Rousey and Dennis Condrey. February 2nd, Brian Cage, Teddy Hart, and Isla Dawn, and they must have been productive on February 30th.
No, actually 9 months prior.
Yeah. Cookie, Dory Funk Jr., D.T. Porter, Meng, Kerry Von Erich, Marty Jannetty, Savannah, and Devin Taylor. And that is the birthday list for this upcoming week. Happy birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday. You mentioned Dennis Condrey in there.
Oh, yeah.
Ming, who I had a bar fight, and that's my tag team partner.
That's my pick.
Yeah.
He's a nice man.
Yeah, don't get in a fight with him.
I was at an event this year, and our good friend JJ Dillon, I'm sitting there talking to him, and here comes Ming, man, comes right in the room, right up to JJ, sits down. 2 hours later, they're still sitting there talking.
It's a lot of the conversations I have.
I guess Ming is JJ's bodyguard. If it comes down to that. Yeah.
No.
I'd want him in
last week.
I'd want him in my corner, huh?
Did you? And I didn't listen last week. I'm sorry. I feel like peanut.
Did I mention who?
Mr.
Yeah, I did.
Tessa.
Yeah, Tessa. Yes, I did.
Because I did a shout out to him, got a nice response back.
Yes, I did. How is Tully doing?
Tully is doing fine. Ministry's going well.
Good.
And they both look in great shape. Tully can go work now. I mean, anywhere, in great shape all the time. And Tessa is staying in shape. And
like I said, surprise entrance.
Shame we can't get him out here for this and play some golf with him.
Yeah, I don't think that might work.
Okay.
Right here.
Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
but
I was going to say the other name, and then I quickly looked over and I was like, "Oh yeah."
See, I am getting old.
Yeah, I just
I didn't even think of that.
Tully, love you.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you out here.
Thank you.
Maybe get him to sign some emails.
First, sign some emails. But I definitely want to get him out here to play some golf because he's one hell of a golfer.
Maybe he come on and do the podcast with us.
Tully, I can see. Yeah, he'd have to replace the living legend we have here that sits normally in that chair.
I'm the living legend.
Just barely.
Hey, watch it. You can be
At least
replaced.
this host pays attention to the shows.
And there's no wires on
There's
the
a show
floor.
going on?
Oh yeah,
No.
exactly.
No wires on the floor.
Something that's
Talk to
gone
me.
on at AEW, Kenny Omega, visa issues.
Yeah, he's stuck up in Canada now.
Oh, Canada. The question I have is, has Kenny lost his luster?
I think just having him on TV every week, kind of, because when before AEW and he was just that thing in New Japan you had to go look for, and he put on all these crazy matches. It was a way bigger thing than it is now.
Did Kenny's gimmick outdo his actual work in the ring? Because people were, ooh, la, 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 Kenny Omega, world's greatest wrestler. And ever since he either got into booking, which he was in charge of the ladies, and AEW, which sucked, by the way, as a booker, do you think he lost his luster? Because, for a number of years, he was, number one ranked or in the top 5 PWI, called the next greatest thing, and then all of a sudden, gone.
I have to be honest with you. Until I saw him on AEW, to be perfectly honest, I didn't know anything about Kenny Omega. Okay, nothing at all. Now, what I've seen of him in the ring, good performer. But I'll say this, I would much rather see Jay White or Zack Sabre Jr., in my opinion, than Kenny Omega. At this point in time, I think they put out a better product. So to answer your question, I do think Kenny's stepped down a little bit or toned it down a little bit. He's not what he was when he was in New Japan. Although he had a great match over when he won the belt, just recently. Had a fantastic match. So maybe he's getting back into wrestling shape.
Yeah.
And we're going to see, I guess, what you guys would say, the old Kenny Omega. That's my take.
I'm sorry, I was having to answer a question.
You can answer whatever. You can do whatever you need to do. You can do, sir.
When Pops of the Bloodline texts you two go off camera.
Rikishi, how you doing, my brother?
Yeah. I told him we were on the air making the announcement. He wanted to know if I had a flyer ready for him so he could put it on his social media and that. God bless this man. And like I told him, we were on the podcast right now, and I get it to him. So.
Maybe Rikishi, maybe we can get you on the podcast when you're out here, brother.
I'm sure he'll
greatly appreciate it.
He'll be available both days, Saturday and Sunday, at the Sports Car Toys and Collectibles Show.
February 25th and 26th at Sam's Town. Be there because the chief said so.
So,
see, I give you a big
I
plug,
know
man.
You do give me big plugs. You're going to be my agent. That means I owe you 20% of everything. 20% of nothing is still nothing.
That's it, man. That's it.
What was that from the peanut gallery?
That's what I'm worth. Nothing.
That's still nothing.
That's still
it.
Nothing. Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Matt, Chief gave me his opinion of Kenny Omega. What about you? I mean, where do you think where is he going? I mean, it just seems like he's died off. I mean, and now this isn't going to help. It's going to keep him out of work for a while.
I wonder why. I wonder really what his problem is getting the visa.
Common sense.
Usually, once they expire, you have to go back to the country you were from, and you have to reapply. And it's usually you
would think
6 to 8 week process.
People would take more attention to those dates.
But you would figure you wouldn't do it right towards the expiration date, and you would just get it done.
Sort of like your car registration in Las Vegas.
30 days, right?
30 days, yeah.
How many license plates I see?
I know,
non-license plates.
You know what?
Though? COVID ended in 2000. When did it start? 2018.
I gotta be honest with you, and it just came to mind.
You're never honest with me.
Growing up, I can remember going up to Niagara Falls with the parents.
Yeah.
All right. Crossing over into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need no freaking passport. You didn't need no freaking visa. Why the hell do you need it now?
9/11. Pretty much when that started.
Going north, going south, you don't.
I don't know. Supposedly we're, and is it politics? Is it 9/11?
Sure, it's politics.
Okay.
Yeah. Try going to any other country in the world. I mean, I've traveled recently.
I've got mine.
Yeah. You need all that documentation, and they check it. Trust me.
There's a show on I found on YouTube, and it's people coming into Canada or Australia, and it shows their customs. And they are so strict. I was just like, Jesus, it's just Canada.
Oh yeah.
So, Kenny's going to be off TV for a while because of the visa issue. I think that's definitely going to hurt his push.
I think Daniel Bryan's getting the push now over on AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at who's held a belt, isn't it all ex-WWE guys pretty much?
Yeah.
Except for Omega and MJF.
Yeah.
And they got the best thing going with MJF.
And Hangman.
Hangman, but all the other ones were WWE.
Yeah.
As Tony Khan said, I'm not going to be an ex-WWE thing. Look at the side of your truck, buddy, or your flyers you put out.
Or as you said, and I'll say it, Tony Khan, you're a mark.
Well, the cool thing with the Jaguars not being there, WWE doesn't have to send them a belt.
I think people were actually worried about that, and I was like, "There's no way the Jags are getting past the next round of the playoffs."
It was entertaining. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. It was entertaining.
But Tony Khan's dad is still in the running to buy WWE.
Yeah, I don't see it happening though.
I don't
don't think he has.
There's
the
no
money
way
yet.
Vince would do that.
If it did happen, do you think the brands would stay separate, or could you see wrestlers cross promoting? And
I truly believe you need competition.
I do too.
When we had the territories, you had competition. And then when you had, the big three of NWA, AWA, and WWF at the time, it was great competition. They would always, AWA would send their champion to both federations and vice versa,
Right.
to work a match. It always ended up in either WWE double DQ or time limit draw, something of that nature, not to put anybody over, which was interesting stories because Vern Gagne used to tell Nick Bockwinkel that, when you were working with Flair or working with Bachland, don't even allow a 2 count.
Right.
Just in case you had the
kick out.
Yeah, you would have the
belt.
Yeah, no controversy. Thomas mentions in the chat room nobody thought Vince would buy WCW. Absolutely. But I think things have really changed. The value of both companies are, WCW's value is was horrible at the time.
No TV deal there.
Yeah, and AOL really screwed that over. So I just don't see that happen.
I could see if WWE gets sold, all right, and Vince gets out of the business totally, I could see territories coming back.
Well, you're seeing that now with MLW and things like that, and people are also forgetting. We keep talking AEW and we keep talking WWE.
Impact.
What about Impact?
Exactly.
Impact,
they don't
to
get the near love they deserve.
I think all Impact really needs
is a TV deal.
Is a better TV deal than AXS.
Yes.
They definitely, in my opinion, have a good roster. They definitely work the fans a lot more. They have better storylines in some regard, and for me, they're a lot easier to work with. But I think the only thing they're missing is a TV deal.
That I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
So one unfortunate situation happened. Obviously, with our friend Briscoe passing away, and I hope his daughters and wife recover and things of that nature.
Yes,
because they already lost their father and husband, so God bless them. But Mark Briscoe wrestled Jay Lethal in the main event of the Dynamite, paying tribute to his late brother Jay. Your thoughts on that?
It was a really good match. It was real emotional because they were all those Ring of Honor guys from that era are super close. And they asked Mark who he wanted to wrestle, and they both went to Tony and were like, Mark versus Jay has to happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at it, before the match even got started, Jay was crying in the ring. Lethal was. Okay. So that tells you the emotion right there and the caring and the love. That was a hell of a match. It's going to be interesting to see
what they do with Mark now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly where I was going, is what they're going to do with Mark.
Because he's pretty much been a tag wrestler with his brother. I mean,
could it be Mark and Jay Lethal as a tag team now?
No, I just due respect to both. To me, that would be putting Heidenreich with Animal.
Yeah,
true.
It just never got the same. It didn't.
Wasn't cohesive.
No, and it just brought on bad memories on how bad it worked. That gimmick was. Not that Animal and Hawk were true brothers, but in the ring they were.
Yeah.
I don't see Mark as a singles wrestler though.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, but do I think they're ever going to garner the respect or with a Jay Lethal or anything like that? No, I really don't. It's like I said, the Road Warriors without Hawk, it would be like the Hardys without the one that keeps getting in trouble.
I wonder how he's doing.
I don't know, but Matt's doing fine.
Yeah,
Matt's doing fine. We've got Ronald.
Yeah, my man.
Jason mentions in the chat room some emotions. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has the emotions. It was a good tribute. People definitely. It's touching. What was that?
Ronald wants to know if we're going
The
to
picks. Oh yes,
pick,
we're going to
if
do the
we're going
picks.
to do the picks.
We got 10 minutes.
Yes.
So, well, for Ronald's sake, Ronald, we will run the show by you. How's that? So I'm going to start with Chief. Let's start with the NFC.
Okay.
And who in the NFC is going to the Super Bowl?
The Eagles.
And Matt, what team is going to the Super Bowl?
Let me think real hard about this. San Francisco 49ers. Eagles are overrated.
You're the tiebreaker.
I'm the tiebreaker. For business-wise?
I don't care.
Business-wise, I want the 49ers. They outsell the Raiders here. I don't care what Las Vegas says. The Raiders is not the top-selling team.
It's the number one defense against the number one offense.
I honestly think Philly's going to win.
It's going to be a good game.
I truly think would I love the Niners to go in my heart for business, and that absolutely, especially for Brock. Having a rookie in there, in a sense, a rookie, is definitely the Cinderella story. But I think as you get further and further into these rounds, the pressure gets on you, and playing in Philly is definitely going to be hard. I mean, that's the worst place to play. The fans there are horrible.
I think when Philly played the Giants, they were tuning their defense up, okay? And they were tuning their offense up, being that they had their quarterback.
Because they were playing a Pop Warner team.
I like that. That's good. I got to remember that one.
San Francisco is a different animal than the Giants.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see the 49ers go to the Super Bowl.
They're going to.
Okay. I would love to.
They're going to.
And that's your opinion.
Jalen Hurts is overrated.
And that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I'll give you that. But I think the factor tomorrow is the Eagles fans.
I truly believe that.
Okay.
The crowd is definitely going to get in the head of.
They're ugly. It's probably the worst. I'm glad it's not snowing there.
Snowballs will be flying.
Did you hear the cops are already greasing the light poles around the stadium?
Oh yeah,
so people won't climb them?
Because they don't make regular snowballs.
Well, they have batteries. And they throw batteries at the
They put 9-volt batteries inside the snowballs and freeze them, and then they throw them at the opposing team. That's why if you take notice and you look at the sidelines if they were to have them and to go to 49ers sideline, the 49ers players would be wearing their helmets because so many players have got pelted with snowballs. Jesus. So I'm telling you the truth, man.
I believe it.
I'm telling you the truth.
Before we go to the AFC, I have a couple things
Go
in
ahead.
the chat room.
Go ahead. What do we got here?
We've got Ronald saying that the next pay-per-view Ring of Honor is going to be Mark and Claudio
Castagnoli. Okay.
Thomas mentioned that Mark is a good wrestler. So do they put the belt on him as a tribute?
That, I thought of that.
Yeah.
And that could be, maybe that's the passing of the torch.
Yeah. I mean, Ring of
so
Honor
to speak.
really doesn't have a TV deal. They're
I wish they'd come out here. I wish they would, because I enjoyed their show.
I mean, you had cons buy them and just leave them to stray. And the only thing that helped them in any kind of ratings whatsoever was Jericho holding the belt.
They said that they were going to announce a TV deal at the next pay-per-view.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Pay-per-view for Impact or
the next Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor.
Because not to digress, but when they used to bring the New Japan guys in to ROH, that was a great show.
Heck yeah!
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Impact.
Absolutely.
So,
all right, going back to the AFC. and the teams there. And
Thomas
the Bills can't go. Sorry.
Thomas says that his opinion, Purdy is going to be overwhelmed tomorrow.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean,
I just, you know what? I don't like seeing people get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt. I think he has a great future in the NFL.
Before we go to the AFC, Matt, you're the Niner fan expert here. What do they do with him next year?
I think he's a starter. How can you take it away from him at this point?
You're paying Trey Lance and you're paying Garoppolo. What do you do with Trey Lance? I mean, you can't have three quarterbacks.
Garoppolo's definitely going to get traded.
Okay.
I think they might keep Trey Lance as like a backup, but either him or Brock are going to have to fight for.
Absolutely. My opinion, you trade Brock right now. He's the hottest thing in commodity. In my opinion, strictly history, teams got taken aback by him because there's not a lot of film on him.
Yeah.
So as you start going around the league and getting games under your belt, the teams and the defensive coordinators definitely have the ability to get more and more film on you, and then they find out what kind of defense to play against you. They develop what mistakes you're going to make and what your tendencies are. So yes. I truly believe with Brock, money is hot, with him right now. So get rid of him. And get rid of Garoppolo. Garoppolo could come here.
Bring Purdy over to Las Vegas.
To the Raiders?
Yes.
I think the better shot would be Garoppolo because he does have, history with our head coach.
Yeah.
Thomas mentioned he is a free agent, but
true.
And then Trey Lance, what is going on with Trey Lance? Is his, injury going to affect next year? So you got to really think.
The quarterback for the
Niners.
Did he play this year?
Yeah, he was the starter. Okay. He was the reason why Garoppolo was actually on the way out because he was number one draft pick, and they spent a ton of money, and definitely has the abilities. And
Garoppolo was going to get traded. He was the backup for Trey Lance. That turned out to
Garoppolo was.
Trey Lance got hurt, and then Garoppolo got hurt,
and they brought.
And then that's when Purdy came.
Purdy off the taxi squad.
Pretty much, yeah.
I saw a crazy stat about him. In the history of the NFL,
right.
The person that has been picked last has never even thrown a forward pass or completed a forward pass in the history of the NFL.
Until Brock Purdy.
Until Brock Purdy brought the 49ers to the freaking NFC Championship.
He's going to be that stat. Everybody's going to.
It just goes to show that the offensive coordinator has developed a good game plan put in place for him.
Sure.
So I applaud him.
So we've got just a couple more minutes, and we'll finish up the show for this week. And once again, I want to appreciate Aaron Phillips for allowing me to sit in as host. And
thanks for coming on.
Hey, you're the father of this program, my friend.
Boomer, as somebody tells me. But let's finish up with AFC Championship, and then we'll do the final thoughts. AFC Championship.
I'm going the underdog. I'm going to Bengals.
Matt?
Bengals 49ers Super Bowl.
Didn't that happen once before? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to Bengals.
Revenge.
I can't bet against the new. No. I call him the new Tom Brady because you can't. Every time this man goes down, all I know is last week when the injury to the ankle happened, everybody in Kansas City went, but Mahomes, he's the new man on in campus. I have to go with the Chiefs.
I don't disagree. And you know what? The one thing about the Chiefs, they have a Hall of Fame head coach.
And if Joe Montana's on the sidelines, who does he root for? For those who aren't football fans, he played for the Chiefs too, not just a Niner. And didn't, some history there, but yeah. And he almost took him to the Super Bowl too when he was a Chief, yeah.
And the funny thing is, and I'll just throw this out, if the Eagles win, you got to remember that the head coach of Kansas City was the head coach of the Eagles.
Yeah, there's a lot of storylines there that could develop, in 2 weeks after.
You know what?
Right after our flag football game we're going to have here in Vegas.
It'll be don't talk about that. God, that's sickening.
So, Matt, final thoughts?
Everybody have a good, safe week. Plan on joining us at the Sports Card Show in February. Make your plans. Stay warm out there. It's still freaking cold. I signed up for the desert. I hate this.
Chief?
Everybody have a great week. Love each other and tell each other that you love them. Baldy, get home safe. You
Is he our bald eagle?
weren't missed today, though. We had the Godfather here of the
Chief's been busy
program.
kissing ass for 2 hours.
Maybe for 2 hours, but you suck up all the time.
It's-
Oh, on that note,
My shout out goes
Who
to
runs all the
Thomas.
signings? Who runs all of them?
you don't.
Oh my
I
God.
don't.
No.
Thomas, get well. Thanks for keeping us abreast on the chat room. Aaron Phillips, I know you're listening. Ronald, Jason, all the listeners that are out there that I've caught popping up. Appreciate y'all listening.
Yes.
Shout out here goes to the studio, John behind the desk there. Thank you for everything you do.
Yeah,
Very professional.
Jarhead.
Wow. Wow. But anyway, my thoughts is, hey, stay well. Remember, tomorrow might not come, so definitely give your friends a hello, shout out, hug, all that kind of stuff, because you don't know when that last day and last breath's going to be taken. For Scott, for Matt, for Chief, this is Thoughts Count Anywhere. For Aaron, we'll see you guys next week.